And you've just heard Community Swimming Pool and I Don't Know. And I'm delighted to be joined by BMAC, the man behind Community Swimming Pool. Hello there.
How's it going? It's good to meet you at last.
Great to see you too. So first of all, Happy New Year. I mean, how was 2021 for you?
Happy New Year. Yeah, 2021's been an amazing year. It's been a real kind of fast year. It feels like now looking back, but it's been great. It's been really good. Having launched obviously in 2020, it was good to put out an album in 2021, and it's been going pretty well. So yeah, it's been great. It's been great, you know.
It's been very busy because I was looking back over it, and you rightly say the album Gloom Bloom came out, but you released about 6 singles as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't actually know. It's a good point. I should have looked, but I never really spend a whole lot of time looking. You know, it's one of those things that already, like, people are asking me now. They're going, well, hang on, you've just put out a record and there's a new single, and I'm like, should I not be putting out more music? I just don't really think about it. I put out as much as I can and have as much fun, I guess, as I can, you know. So yeah.
Well, it's interesting to think about the different ways that, you know, people do work. And I wondered if, as you said yourself, you started Community Swimming Pool in 2020, and you have released quite a lot of tracks and an album since then. Do you think that was partly due to circumstances, or do you think that was the way you were always going to kind of work?
Yeah, so the thing that people, I mean, this is the thing, is it's not like it's a secret, but I've written music that I knew I would use for like a long time. So it's a kind of funny one. I've basically been scared for a long time to release music because I guess I had this sort of fear of it just going badly, I guess, you know. It's a strange kind of thing. With making music on your own, like, there's always that sort of fear of like, okay, we like this song, or, you know, and people ask you to play shows, and then you've not got like a band behind you, like, you know, or whatever it might have been. It seems silly and to put it, to hold myself back like that. But yeah, so I released in 2020 the first single, which was Upside Down. But yeah, this is like 5 years into writing music sort of thing for this process, this, you know, for Community Swimming Pool. So yeah, that's kind of where it's like, yeah, I've always known it was going to kind of be a thing, you know.
So had you almost built up a kind of back catalogue of tracks that you've been working on? And was it the case that you weren't quite happy with them, or was it just the case that you were waiting for a time you go, right, I'm going to now make that leap of faith, if you like?
Yeah, it was the waiting. It was like, I really had to pick a good moment. It was strange, you know. It's hard. Yeah. I mean, I used to have a studio in Edinburgh in 2018 that I thought in 2018 I was going to release music. And I'm really glad I didn't, because I would have regretted it, I sort of think, you know. I had a different name. It wasn't Community Swimming Pool. It's funny. Everybody seems to, I mean, do you like the name Community Swimming Pool yourself?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody seems to like it. So that's like a really lucky thing, I guess, I landed on, but it never used to. Yeah, I had a different name, and I'm glad I didn't release it in 2018. Otherwise, I would have kicked myself with the name and what have you, you know. So yeah, it was just picking a good moment. It took a long time to land on it. I don't know what it was. I think it was like the lockdown was like, the world might end, I might die, I might as well put out this music, you know, or something like that.
So Community Swimming Pool is just you. There's, you know, in terms of the music, and when you play live, is it just you as well?
So this is the thing, is I would like it to be a band. Yeah. I don't want it to be just me. I supported this amazing band, which, you know, you'll obviously know, a band called Cloth.
Yes.
Who were unreal, such a good band. I've seen them a couple of times since, but I played with them in King Tut's. I supported them, and it was just me, which was nice. But it sort of felt like it was a wee bit of it was a shame, because I'd like to have a band. I just don't have one in place, you know, that's all. I spend a lot of time. I put a lot of effort into Swiss Portrait as well.
Yeah.
Playing live for Swiss Portrait, so it's one of those things. It's like it's just not happened yet, but I would like to play with people. It would be nice. Yeah.
Because you play guitar with Swiss Portrait, is that right?
Yeah. I play guitar, just live guitar. So, yeah. I think I'm slightly nervous about the band thing too, because I feel like I'm going to end up being I play everything and I hear everything when I'm writing everything, and I don't want to be, I would never want to be like, okay, Ali, come and play a guitar for me. And then I'd be like, right, this is exactly how you need to play it. And this is, because everybody would just be like, this is terrible. This guy's an idiot or something like that. And I'm just like, that's not, I don't know. It would be really good to have a band though. I just need to find the right folk, I think,
So it's that kind of worry about giving over any kind of the control. Is that the kind of feeling?
I think that's slightly a thing, yeah. But I don't know. Some of my favorite bands started out as guys on their own, and then they now, years down the line, they're like, I realized somewhere along the line it was a band and it wasn't just me anymore, sort of thing. And it's better than it could have ever been, because more minds doing one thing is always going to be better than just one guy. So
it's interesting. Recently, I've been talking to people who have made records that could be done solo. We do go out and take them solo, but they also then put together full band sets. And there's a couple I can think of off the top of my head. Broken Chanter, I've seen him do his latest album, just David, and then I've also seen the full band at the launch, and Annie Booth as well, who takes her songs out in both ways. So there's maybe a kind of happy medium.
Yeah, there probably is. I also I saw Broken Chanter before he was Broken Chanter years ago. He's amazing too. When it was Kid Canaveral, right? Yeah. I saw them playing in the Liquid Rooms and I loved it. It was great. They were great, and I think that's the case. I think it's going to be Annie. Like, I've known Annie for a good few years, and she's amazing too. And it's like I see these people who I idolize those people. If you ever speak to Annie next time you see her, ask her about how I used to have a poster of her on my wall. I mean, it wasn't just her. There was many people. It was not like a weird thing. But I remember her coming into my room and being like, you've got a picture of me on your wall. It's crazy. I'm like, I idolize you people, because they're all amazing. And I would love to do that. But maybe I'll probably find people, I will do it. I'll need to take the plunge at some point.
Well, I mean, in a way you are doing it, because you can turn around with these singles in the album that you've already released. I mean, these are great songs, they really, really are. So you've got something that it's not like you're doing it from scratch.
Yeah. It's not like a fear of going, let's get in a room and try and think of something, Yeah, you're right, man. You're probably right. I'm just a big fear day. That big scared. I was scared to release, and I'm scared of,
Maybe a bit like once you've released your first one, you've gone on to release all these tracks and albums. Maybe once you play your first set with a band, then it'll be fine from there on in.
It's like maybe having your feet over the fire a little bit, going into playing a show or booking a show or something. Lindsay Clark just did it.
Yeah,
she's another one out of nowhere. It's just like the album's incredible, and I'm just like, man, all these people. My friend Ross Clark, his Fisker, he's done it. I'm like, yeah, man, I think I need to do it. It'll happen.
Cool. Breaking news on Scots Whay Hae radio show. That's going to be. So, I mean, what plans do you have for 2022? Is it just to keep releasing more music, or?
Yeah, I think I'd like to think next year. Oh, sorry, it's this year. This is 2022. Jeez, all the time's running away of me. Yeah, I mean, I know I just put out a single there on the 27th of December, called "I Don't Know," and I've since then written another song that's going to be the next single. I'm like hitting a creative vein kind of thing, I've kind of found a new well to take from, which is this sort of newer sound, because I still have, this is the thing, like going back to having written music before I ever released anything, I have at least 20 songs that are there demoed and you know, are usable, but I kind of find it more fun to have the fresh thing going on. But I'd like to just release, I guess, as much music, maybe like as as long as people are listening and they're interested, you know, and I feel proud of what's going on. I guess I'll just try and write it as much as I can. And maybe now I'll try and make a band, a live band. But yeah, I think probably I feel like there's another chance of like, or quite a high chance of another record as well, you know.
Fantastic. And
Yeah, another
how
album.
do you view each release? You know, we played, I don't know, earlier on, and we're going to play number one after we've finished talking, which was an earlier single from last year. Do they all kind of stand alone, or do you have an idea of a progression through the tracks? How do you view them?
It's a funny one. I think, yeah, I think it's a good question. With Gloom Bloom, the album, available now on Bandcamp and all your just on with Gloom Bloom, the way that the songs all, to me, it's funny. Like there was an original running order and they all progressed. It kind of told a story.
Right.
So sometimes I think I can view it like that. However, I think now it's just like I'm not viewing a single. I'm not releasing, like Upside Down was the first single and number one was the second single out of the first record. And it's like those were new songs. Those were like late on in the story. It wasn't like I was releasing the early part of the story first. It was just like it was just the way that it came, you know. I think it was just like what will people like? Excuse me, you know, I'm like, will people like this upside down, like pop kind of jangly kind of, you know, I kind of hope that would be the case, and then went for it, you know. Also, you know, Gloom Bloom is no longer, in case you're ever interested, isn't telling the story that I wanted it to tell anymore, because the record label were like, this is a really terrible running order, and like all your great songs are at the end of the album. And I was like, of course, I'm like, I thought they were all really good songs. Yeah, but yeah, so Upside Down was like, it's because, yeah, it was, the gloom factor was like a part of my life previously with like somebody else who I was with, what have you. And then the kind of slash almost in the gloom slash bloom, the kind of middle kind of period was like another time. And then the bloom was like when I've kind of bloomed in my life with, you know, all the new stuff. So it's funny, but the bloom is all the songs that are like the pop songs that people like, you know, more than the old ones. So the record label were like, don't do that. And I was like, okay, you're right. Yeah. The story remains a complete mystery, and I'm a massive liar, basically. But it was an idea. It was supposed to be a story, but yeah.
It's a cracking idea, but that is interesting that they'd say, well, let's forget the story. Let's just get these songs into
fun. And yeah, totally. Maybe in 50 years, there'll be like a collector's edition, and it'll be in the order that I will have wanted it to have been in, you know.
That's it, a 20th anniversary release in the correct order that you wanted all along.
Yeah, totally. For all the diehard, all the diehard fans. Yeah, it's funny. I forget that that's the thing because I've grown to love it the way it is, you know. But
yeah. Well, I mean, it's a cracking collection of songs, and again, it's a lengthy album too, just showing you again that you've got this. So, is it difficult to kind of balance between wanting to write new stuff and then still working on the old stuff that you've had for a while?
Definitely. This is what I'm finding now. This is kind of what I've loosely touched on there, was like, I have a bunch of songs there from the last like 5 years, I guess, that I've decided to kind of bench at present. Like the song I Don't Know that was just played, obviously it's the new single. That was written on the 23rd of November. So, and I only found this out because I was shocked when it was played and people kind of premiered it and stuff. It was on the radio within like 2 or 3 weeks of writing it. So it was weird.
Yeah, wow.
It's like chasing it's strange. It's like, yeah, it's hard to pick between, like you're saying, the new, like doing the new thing, doing new songs, what have you. But ultimately, like just there, it's been proof almost. It's like chasing the fresh thing that's just come to me on the 23rd. has like paid off, you know. So yeah, it's a difficult.
I mean, when I do interviews like this, often people are actually thinking of the next thing rather than, you know, we're talking about the current single and things like that. But a lot of people, and it's not just in music, in other forms as well, are thinking of the next thing that they want to move on to.
Sure. I guess I sort of fly by the seat of my pants a wee bit on that front. It's kind of annoying. I think I do annoy people with the fact that I'm quite laid back and like, yeah, you could probably just pick me up and put me down somewhere else. I'm that sort of laid back, you know, like I don't know. I don't really think about it too much. I just kind of just do it.
Cool.
Yeah. It's kind of not great when folk go, "What is your plan? Your big plan?" You know, and I'm like, "Do you mean like for dinner later? Do you mean with music?" I'm like,
Yeah.
I love cooking. Do you want me to talk to you about that? Yeah, it's daft. I don't know. I think it's good to be planned, like have plans, but yeah.
But sometimes it's okay just to plan one dinner at a time. You know, that's absolutely fine.
I think it's fun sometimes, and it's nice to take life step, you know, a day at a time. Sometimes, you know.
Oh, cool. There's a lesson there for all of us, I think. Well, B-Mac, thanks so much for taking time to have a chat. I really enjoy it, and I really do love your music, as you know.
What? It's amazing. It's been such like, it's been a complete thrill every time. Whenever you know you send a message or you say that I've been included on a show, it's like it's an amazing thing. Like, thank you so much. You know.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure. And this is Community Swimming Pool and number one.